Fade to Silence is an action-adventure survival game set in a wintry apocalypse. A mysterious Lovecraftian plague has choked the land, and the few remaining survivors struggle to stay that way amidst monsters, freezing temperatures, and scarce supplies. Your character Ash is haunted by the Inner Voice, a ghostly creature that may have been the cause of everything and repeatedly revives Ash each time he dies to subject him to the same horrors. How this came to be is hinted at in motion graphic snippets that randomly play when resting, and are the only hope of solving mysteries like where the eclipse, a massive heap of debris floating in the sky, came from. So while the world is intriguing, I found this way of telling its backstory too vague and disjointed. Ash can meet other survivors in the world and invite them back to his refuge. Each survivor has their own backstory that will slowly be revealed once you gain enough trust. They're appropriately tragic but don't seem to have any ties to the larger narrative. Followers will also bring valuable skills to your refuge and can assist you on expeditions. This is where you'd be able to have friends take control of the follower for co-op play. You'll scavenge for basic resources like firewood and food, which will keep you going long enough to craft weapons and armor, which will allow you to travel farther away from the camp and stay outside for longer. The environments can shift between being blanketed in different amounts of snow, giving familiar locales a slightly different look, but everywhere is basically some variation of cold and icy. Aside from the exploration, you'll fight off monsters, and those same monsters will periodically raid your home base, which you'll need to fortify. I enjoyed the feedback loop of needing to craft better gear to venture into more dangerous territory, and using my followers to help maintain the refuge and automate the resource gathering. The combat, however, is lacking. There are limited attacks that you or the enemies can perform. Blocking and parrying don't look or feel good, and monster attack animations don't look quite right. There isn't much variety in the enemies you face, and the stronger variants are just color swapped versions. Besides that, I'd be satisfied with the progression if the game didn't constantly throw wrenches into my plans. Sometimes it's intentional, like an ill-timed snowstorm, but most often it's gameplay glitches that can really demoralize you. I've had followers freeze to death while on expeditions with me because they failed to walk into the cabin I was resting in. You can revive followers if you find their bodies, but in one instance, my follower disappeared from the map, and he and his metalworking skill was lost to me for the rest of the game, grinding my progress to a halt. I've also had trouble getting them to follow orders consistently and craft what I need in a timely manner, among other smaller visual and technical problems. Black Forest Games says they've addressed many of these issues in the final version, which I hope is true because I experienced over a dozen game crashes to desktop as well. Fade to Silence is a mixed bag of ideas. Its deep and rewarding survival gameplay carries the weight of its appeal, while the interesting setting motivated me to keep pushing forward. But the story being told felt thin, and the lackluster combat and finicky follower issues were a turnoff. However, despite its flaws, I still liked my time braving this harsh, endless winter. The game is available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.